One moment he was there, and the next, gone. In July 2014, Lars Mittank, a 28-year-old German tourist, was enjoying a summer holiday in Bulgaria. The sun was shining, the beaches were crowded with tourists, and the atmosphere was filled with laughter and joy. Lars, like many others, was there to relax and have a good time. But what started as a fun trip took a dark turn. As the days went by, Lars began to feel uneasy. The vibrant sunsets that once brought him peace now seemed ominous. He started to sense that something was not right. After a mysterious altercation at a local bar, Lars began acting strangely, claiming someone was after him. He became paranoid, constantly looking over his shoulder and avoiding crowded places. His friends noticed the change in his behavior but couldn't understand what had triggered it. He visited a doctor for a ruptured eardrum and was advised not to fly. The injury, which he claimed happened during the altercation, added to his growing anxiety. The doctor prescribed him antibiotics and suggested he stay grounded until he healed. Lars stayed behind while his friends flew home, checking into a cheap hotel near Varna airport. The hotel was modest, a far cry from the lively resorts he'd been staying at. Alone and isolated, Lars's paranoia seemed to intensify. CCTV footage captured his increasingly erratic behavior. He was seen pacing the hallways, peering out of windows and talking to himself. Hotel staff reported that he seemed agitated and fearful. He texted his mother, saying he felt unsafe. His messages were frantic, filled with fear and confusion. He told her that he believed he was being followed and that he needed help. Then came the day he was supposed to fly home. Lars packed his bags and headed to the airport, hoping to leave his troubles behind. But the sense of dread followed him. Lars arrived at the airport, but instead of boarding his flight, he abruptly ran out the terminal. Witnesses described him as being in a state of panic, as if he was fleeing from an unseen threat. Security cameras captured his desperate sprint through the terminal, his eyes wide with fear. He ran past security, through the parking lot, and towards the perimeter fence. He climbed over fences and disappeared into a nearby forest. And then he vanished. Despite extensive searches, no trace of Lars was ever found. To this day, Lars Mittank has not been found. His disappearance has left his family and friends in a state of perpetual grief and confusion. Theories abound. Was he the victim of foul play? Some believe that Lars may have been targeted by criminals or involved in some illicit activity that led to his disappearance. Did he suffer from a mental health crisis? Others speculate that Lars may have experienced a severe psychological breakdown, possibly triggered by the stress of his injury and the altercation. Or did he simply choose to disappear? There are those who think that Lars may have decided to start a new life, leaving everything behind. The vanishing of Lars Mittank remains one of the most perplexing unsolved mysteries of our time. Despite numerous investigations and countless theories, the truth remains elusive. What do you think happened to him? The case continues to intrigue and baffle people around the world. The search for answers continues. Every lead is followed, every clue is examined, but the mystery remains. Lars Mittank's disappearance is a haunting reminder of how someone can vanish without a trace, leaving behind only questions and heartache.